Nigerians be at alert, mostly the southeast Nigeria. The entire southern and eastern Nigeria should be at alert. Asari Dokubo has been stationed by his masters to lead a full-scale jihad war against the entire southeast Nigeria. Take this information very serious. Asari Dokubo is a hired machinery by the APC terrorist government to help facilitate the conquest of the entire southeast Nigeria. Asari Dokubo has fooled the entire southeast Nigeria and systematically established a very deadly terrorist gang in southeast Nigeria against the people of southeast in the name of Niger Delta Avenger. Why Asari Dokubo's terrorist gang freely operates uninterruptedly in southeast Nigeria is because Asari Dokubo is a government-sponsored political and religious talk stationed in southeast Nigeria to work with ISIS for the total Islamization of the entire southeast Nigeria. Asari Dokubo's government-sponsored criminal and terrorist gang is the most dreaded crime syndicate in Nigeria and the biggest threat to the Nigerian armed forces. During the period, Asari Dokubo publicly declared that he is not a Nigerian, but a Biafran. Nobody heard about this type of killings going on in southeast Nigeria today, throughout that period. Asari Dokubo, with his terrorist gang, is behind all the killings going on in Igbo land. Asari Dokubo is behind the unprecedented killings going on in southeast Nigeria today, which began after he picked a fight with Nnamdi Kanu and vowed to frustrate Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbos and make sure Nnamdi Kanu is killed and the Igbos wiped out. Since then, the terrorist called Asari Dokubo hasn't stopped publicly issuing death threats to the Igbos and has continued with the killing of Igbos on a daily basis and publicly calling for a full-scale war with the Igbos. He is behind the series of brutal attacks on some prominent men and some leaders in southeast Nigeria. Asari Dokubo is behind the brutal attacks on some high-profile politicians in southeast Nigeria. Asari Dokubo, with his criminal gang, is behind most of the bloody attacks on Nigerian army and other security personnel in southeast Nigeria. Asari Dokubo has been the greatest enemy and threat to Nigerian army and not IPOB. There is nowhere on earth self-determination is a crime. It's only in Nigeria self-determination is considered a crime, which is simply calling for war. That's why Nigeria is a disaster to Africa and to humanity. Asari Dokubo, which is bloody criminal gang, after launching brutal attacks on locals in southeast Nigeria and on Nigerian soldiers and army bases and other defense forces and government facilities, with the intention to trigger further mass killing of Igbos by the Nigerian army in the name of IPOB as usual, and to tarnish Nnamdi Kanu's image. Asari Dokubo gets rewarded and protected by the government after carrying out his series of brutal attacks, and the Igbos get ambushed in their communities and massacred, and their houses burnt by the Nigerian army in the name of IPOB. Those of you serving in Nigerian army, listen very carefully. Struggle for your lives and destinies too, as Nigerian citizens now. Do not be the dumbest army in the world, being used by these old fools to destroy your destinies, as you are already the most genocidal and the most hated army in the world because of these old criminal politicians with their criminal, political, and religious ambition. Asari Dokubo is your greatest enemy and not the innocent Igbos you are invading their communities and killing and burning their houses. Asari Dokubo is systematically preparing to destroy all of you with his own unconstitutional army sponsored by the notorious APC government. Asari Dokubo has been unconstitutionally sponsored by the APC government to parade AK-47 and kill oppositions and whoever he considers a threat. And Asari Dokubo has been killing civilians and soldiers without being arrested. That's why Asari Dokubo fearlessly flaunts his AK-47 unrestricted in a live video and publicly issuing death threats to Igbos, calling for the killing of Igbos after visiting his masters in Asoro. The videos of Asari Dokubo publicly calling for the killing of Igbos are already substantial proof of Asari Dokubo working with the Nigerian government to wipe out the Igbos. If Asari Dokubo is not hunted down now, the southeast Nigeria will never know tranquility. Throughout this 2023 election, the Igbos never attacked any tribe in Nigeria. Igbos didn't attack the Hausas, the Yorubas, and other tribes in Nigeria, but the Igbos and their multi-million-dollar worth of properties and businesses have been under severe, vicious attack in every part of Nigeria as usual since the creation of Nigeria. Listen, everyone. The anti-Igbo program is the greatest campaign in Nigeria, and that's what is undoubtedly playing in this 2023 presidential election. The notorious TINUBU and Asari Dokubo, with their bloody gangs of criminals, are about to plunge Nigeria into serious civil war. The Igbos are being brutally attacked almost in every part of Nigeria, and multi-million-dollar worth of properties and businesses owned by the Igbos have been destroyed throughout this election period by order of Nigerian government championing the anti-Igbo program. The Igbos are under severe brutal attacks in every part of Nigeria. There is absolutely no safe place for the Igbos and their properties and businesses in Nigeria. The Igbos never attacked anyone. Listen very attentively. The Igbos never attacked anyone, but have been under serious, severe, brutal attacks in every part of Nigeria. Those of you in Nigerian army operating in southeast Nigeria, listen very carefully. Asari Dokubo is your greatest threat and not the Igbos. Asari Dokubo's appearance in Asoro is a terrible disaster and a great threat to you all. You left the main enemy and chasing after shadow. Asari Dokubo is now systematically your overall in the Nigerian armed forces. He has systematically ordered for the removal of service chiefs who will not abide to his rules, to be replaced with service chiefs who will abide to his rules. Service chiefs that will obey his instructions. The ones he can control. The ones that will obey his order. A criminal, a tout, a notorious hardened criminal visiting Asoro to preside over security issues in Nigeria. This is a big disgrace and disaster, both in Nigeria and to Africa entirely. That is the result of having an international notorious drug lord as a president. If you were a Nigerian serving in Nigerian army, listen very attentively and take this message very serious. These old political criminals with their useless political ambitions have zero value for your lives. They are feeding on your destinies and that of your children. and securing greater future and fortune, home and abroad, for their own children. They have already destroyed your future and using you to protect themselves and their families at all costs, and at the same time sponsoring criminal and terrorist gangs to kill you at will. As they are savaging your lives, they are equally using you to commit genocide, of which has irreversibly damaged your reputation in this world as genocidal army. You are being ambushed and killed by the government-sponsored criminal and terrorist gangs, of which Asari Dokubo is one of them. Asari Dokubo went to Asorok and accused Nigerian army and service chiefs of oil theft in Niger Delta. Asari Dokubo, while accusing the Nigerian army and service chiefs of oil theft, suddenly digressed from oil theft to IPOP and ESN matter. Asari Dokubo is the main oil thief and the main enemy waging full-scale war against the Nigerian armed forces. Asari Dokubo, out of his perpetual hatred for the Igbos, has been seeking for the destruction of Igbos by all means. This time around, he needs some service chiefs he can subdue to his command and collaborate with in mass killing of Igbos. Igbos all over the world, all the Igbo leaders all over the world, all the Igbo prominent men all over the world, all the Igbo businessmen all over the world, all the Igbo superstars all over the world, all the Igbo celebrities all over the world. Listen very carefully. Begin to act right now before it's too late. Start action now to bring the anti-Igbo program to an end. Begin action now to bring the persecution and marginalization of Igbos to an end now. Begin your action now before it's too late. Begin your action now for the immediate and total liberation of Igbos. The killing of Igbos has become the greatest campaign in Nigeria. Killing the Igbos has become the greatest campaign in Nigeria. You become a celebrity in Nigeria when you kill the Igbos. There is no year that passes without thousands of Igbos being slaughtered in Nigeria. The Igbos are being slaughtered in Nigeria on a daily basis, and their killers are not being prosecuted, but celebrated and promoted by the Nigerian government. The Igbos are living like slaves in Nigeria, and even called slaves by other tribes in Nigeria. Yet none of these tribes has ever contributed significantly to the growth and success of Nigeria like the Igbos. Igbos all over the world should wake up now and strictly strive for the freedom of Igbos, or else these demonic oppressors will make the land uninhabitable for you in such a way that you will have no place to call home very soon. No international community will come to rescue your families and loved ones from the terror and hell this fraudulent government is about to unleash on you. Asari Dokubo, who describes the Igbos as slaves, has consistently issued death threats to the Igbos publicly without any fear and regard. And the Nigerian government continued encouraging and promoting him for his well-pronounced role in the anti-Igbo program. Just like another APC rogue was fraudulently made the governor of Lagos State because the Yorubas believed he's coming to wage war against the Igbos. And since then, the Igbos and their properties and businesses have been under severe brutal attacks in Lagos. Asari Dokubo's open call for the killing of Igbos has been going on for a couple of few years now, and he has been waiting for an action or a response from the Igbos, and no serious action has been taken by the Igbo leaders and all the prominent men and celebrities in Igbo land regarding this consistent death threats from Asari Dokubo. And your lack of response to the intimidation and hunting and killing of Igbos in Nigeria has aggravated the situation to the extent that the foolish Asari Dokubo now takes your silence for cowardice and has arrogantly taken his open call for the mass killing of Igbos to a greater height. The 2023 election in Nigeria is another conclusive evidence of the marginalization of Igbos in Nigeria to the whole world. The Northerners are seeking for the destruction of Igbos. The Yorubas are passionately seeking for the destruction of Igbos. Asari Dokubo is passionately calling for the destruction of Igbos and already slaughtering the Igbos on a daily basis with his criminal gang. The Igbos are being hunted in every part of Nigeria. There is no safe place for the Igbos in Nigeria. The Nigerian government also kept silent about all of these calls for the destruction of Igbos in Nigeria, because the main goal of the creation of Nigeria is exploitation and obliteration of Igbos. And it has been so since the creation of Nigeria to date. The biggest campaign in Nigeria is hating the Igbos, exploiting their land, exploiting them, using their talents and productiveness and resources, disenfranchising them during election and not letting them become anything in Nigeria, no matter how hard they work in contribution to the growth and success of Nigeria. And if they try to resist marginalization, stop them, arrest them, incapacitate them, torture them, jail them, slaughter them, and call them slaves and rebels, and then you are a true patriotic Nigerian and can be awarded with any position you crave for in Nigeria. You commit all of these atrocities and injustices against the Igbos in Nigeria and still tell them that Nigeria must remain one at all costs. You are the stupidest idiots on earth, and your days are numbered. Listen, your end is near. The notorious hardened criminal called Asari Dokubo has taken his own quest for the destruction of Igbos to its greater height, for actually going to Asorok to solicit for more arms from this criminal government for the empowerment of his criminal gang against the Igbos, and systematically seeking to collaborate with the Nigerian security forces in killing the Igbos. Listen very carefully. Asari Dokubo is the main oil thief working with the corrupt Nigerian government. He considered the former service chiefs obstacle and a big threat to their criminal enterprise. That's why he accused them of oil theft and sought for their immediate removal. If you are in Nigerian army, listen very carefully. These old fools, desperate for political power, are insulting your intelligence and playing with your destinies. If Asari Dokubo is not stopped now, he is going to bring destruction upon all of you. If this criminal APC government with TINUBU and Asari Dokubo is not stopped now, they will plunge Nigeria into a serious civil war with their extreme rascality and their anti-Igbo campaign. Asari Dokubo is the masterminder of the recent attack on the US embassy staff He did that for the Igbos to be wrongly accused and slaughtered in the name of IPOB as usual. Asari Dokubo has taken advantage of the entire Southeast Nigeria for a very long time now, operating successfully on his bloody mission in Southeast Nigeria. Asari Dokubo, who recently denied being a Nigerian, now out of envy and his uncontrollable perpetual hatred for the Igbos, took advantage of the Biafra struggle and causing mayhem in entire Southeast Nigeria, unleashing bloody attacks on both civilians and Nigerian security forces in order to trigger more bloodshed of Igbos. It's quite unfortunate that while Asari Dokubo is successfully carrying out his killing mission in Southeast Nigeria, innocent people are being wrongly accused, arrested, intimidated, and forced to confess to a crime they never committed and get killed on a daily basis, mostly in Igbo communities. More especially in Igbo communities. Asari Dokubo is not only a political assassin, but a notorious bloody religious extremist. Asari Dokubo, with his terrorist gang, is very prepared for a full-scale invasion of the entire Southeast Nigeria with the help of other international terrorist organizations. He has been contracted by the notorious APC government to lead this bloody jihad war against the people of Southeast Nigeria. The notorious APC government is set to sponsor the most horrifying jihad war against the entire Southeast Nigeria through Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo is going to be heavily armed by TINUBU's government to subdue the entire Southeast Nigeria through jihad war. Asari Dokubo, out of his perpetual religious hatred for non-Muslims, has sworn to make the entire Southeast Nigeria ungovernable. And since then, there has been an unusual aggravation of brutal attacks and killings in entire Southeast Nigeria by Asari Dokubo with his criminal gang, all of which is being blamed on Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, and innocent Igbos are being ambushed and slaughtered by the APC terrorist government. Asari Dokubo knows very well that as his killing assignment is ongoing in Southeast Nigeria, the Igbos must always be wrongly accused and killed in the name of IPOB as usual. This has encouraged and promoted the killing of Igbos and the destruction of properties and businesses owned by the Igbos all over Nigeria on a daily basis. APC killing machinery, Asari Dokubo, was also behind the brutal attack on Governor Soludo's council headquarters. He did that in order for Soludo to start killing his brothers, like other Southeast governors did. Asari Dokubo knows that there is no state or local government he will attack in Igbo land or anywhere in Southeast Nigeria without the Igbos being accused of the attack and arrested and intimidated and killed as usual in the name of IPOB. Asari Dokubo, the serial assassin, has been stationed to work viciously for TINUBU's government. APC is the main sponsor of all of these killings going on in entire Southeast Nigeria and all over Nigeria. Take this message very serious and spread this information. There is also a plot by the criminal APC government to assassinate P2B. Asari Dokubo, with his fatal criminal gang, is set to carry out this bloody attack on P2B because they know that P2B has indisputable, overwhelming, substantial evidence to reclaim his victory. They believe that the only way to stop P2B is by assassinating him because they want to retain power by all means to accomplish their Fulanization and Islamization agenda and impose their Sharia law on Nigerians. Asari Dokubo has been stationed to accomplish this mission. And they have also planned to accuse Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB of their proposed bloody attack on P2B. pray for Peter Obi. If they had known that Peter Obi was going to win this presidential election, they would have assassinated him long ago. This is the best time for you all to join hands together and collectively and bravely reclaim Nigeria from the hands of these demons, or you call for referendum, because they are not ready to vacate Asari any day, even if Peter Obi wins the case. APC, the gang of notorious criminals, are fighting hard to escape prosecution. They are preparing for war because of power. These criminals fighting very hard to retain power in order to evade arrest and prosecution are fighting desperately for power. They know that as far as they retain power, all of them will escape arrest and prosecution for the atrocities they have committed against humanity. Do not be deceived. Do not be frightened. Do not be intimidated. Do not be carried away by whatever they are saying or doing to make you believe in them. They have plan B, and their plan B is very bloody one. Asari Dokubo is on the move to accomplish this mission for APC, criminal government. All of you will have yourself to blame if these notorious criminals in charge of Asari are not stopped now. If you don't stop them now, they will stop you from exercising a single fundamental human right. You are about to experience more hardship. You are about to experience more killings by this criminal government like never before. You are about to experience more human rights violations and illegal arrest and torture and mass killing in Nigeria, mass killing of Nigerian citizens like never before by this criminal government. You are about to experience more excessive of borrowing of money in the name of Nigeria. When nobody knows how to pay the ones borrowed by Buhari's terrorist government from both China and the Islamic Bank, waiting for you all to pay with your blood and destinies. They are going to make life hell for you like never before. They are going to make life hell for you all like never before. They will deprive you of your religious freedom in every part of Nigeria. It's either they are stopped now, or you come together and collectively call for referendum, because referendum is the only option for your survival if they don't respectively return Peter Obi's mandate. APC is the bloodiest criminal gang in Africa. Nigerians are going through terrible hardship. No development, no employment, no health care, no light, so much hunger. Nigerians are suffering and dying of hunger inflicted on them by this APC terrorist government. Despite the hardship, pain, and suffering, these people continued to make hell worse for Nigerians. As the cost of living is getting so high for Nigerians, these agents of death are busy increasing their salaries, increasing salaries for politicians, and borrowing more money to squander in the name of Nigeria. The main mission of APC in Nigeria is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. They are demons and have no regard for humanity. Allowing TINUBU and Shetima to be in charge of Asari will be your greatest mistake in life and a game of death in that country called Nigeria. And those of you responsible for that will regret it. No matter your reasons for gambling with the lives of millions of Nigerians by supporting such set of hardened criminals to rule Nigeria, because of your uncontrollable hatred for the Igbos. Anywhere you are hiding for safety and protection, your lives will amount to zero. Your death wishes upon the Igbos will backfire you. Your death wish upon the Igbos will backfire you and your family and hit you very hard wherever you are. All your evil wishes for the Igbos will be accomplished in your lives and that of your families and your children. You will all suffer wherever you are, no matter who you are. Nigerians should be at alert. These people are about to make Nigeria bleed as never before. Take note of this message and do not say you are not warned.